Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Keep playing hard.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh. X3. 218. Chop. Look at me. Zipper. Hey.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Looking to throw on second down. Cartman. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Ready.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
General West. Snap.
They give to Johnson going right. Johnson on, it's poke free. Football's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Following the fumble recovery. Arnold. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. But he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
18 Gator.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's
Five.
58 to Mike. So we got man. 58, boys. 58.
They'll run on first down. Lunsford. Room here to run. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Open man is born. He'll have a first down past the 40. 22 yards there, a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Throwing on first down. Hartman. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. To throw on second down, Hartman. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate as they...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big pickup of 38.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They run the counter. Lunsford. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Looking to throw on second down. Arnold looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Get that quarterback.
Go.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Hey, Zoo.
It's a party
Snap.
On first down, Lunsford. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
right there. Oh!
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, Charlie.
51 to mark.
They run the counter. Lunsford. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. We were just talking about him pregame. 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there, another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described, and I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
At their own 23-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
That's good for 28 yards.
First down, Detroit.
On the ready.
Watch 98. 98 to mark.
You gonna see me in your nightmare, son. You gonna see me.
From the gun, Hartman. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 7 at the Vikings' 29-yard line.
Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play. Here's a 2nd and 7. That is incomplete. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience is early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know.
Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions have taken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 14-7.
14. Vikings 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
His guys
First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Lions 14, Vikings 7.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun. Hartman. Open man. He's got him. The tight end, Hockenson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98 to Mike. I got you. I got you. Watch 98. Watch 98. 98.
From the gun, Hartman. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Elliott is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Lunsford, and he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Operating from the gun, Arnold. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Ready.
Mike 51. Mike 51. Here we go. Here we go.
Ready.
On 3rd down, Arnold. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Set, ready.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Blue Dan, blue Dan.
Five.
Off play action. Arnold going deep for Diggs. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there.
Let's go.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Defense. Hey, man up, deep. Man up, deep.
Hey, Delta.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. I know.
Yep.
51's the mic.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. About 3 yards there to the 27. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Down.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Arnold. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Got it.
51, Mike, 51.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Right up.
On 1st down, Arnold. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Arnold. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
We go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
You gonna take. You gotta take. You 6'6". Pull it high.
To throw on third down. Hartman. Now they go screen. It's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken at the 15. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Lunsford. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hey, wahoo!
Let's get it. 51's the mic. 51.
To throw on second down. Arnold. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Ready. 15, Lonnie. 15 line. Hit it.
On first and 10, Arnold. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
At the 39-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the ball is knocked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Arnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Well, the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Shoot.
Throwing on 1st down. Arnold. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
And incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the 2nd half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
This will be taken in at the 1.
Let's go, boys. Bring it
So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And ready to get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even 1st half, all tied on the scoreboard.
We play to win. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. 1st half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the 2nd half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but now it'll be 3rd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this 2nd half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Ready.
Looking to throw. Arnold. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Arnold. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll try the left side. Lunsford. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lunsford. And this effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He's a yard or 2 short. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it. But, listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down,
it's a foot race. He's at the 50. A big run there by Johnson. 69 yards. Now, this game's ripe for the taking, and that run, I think it means he wants to take it.
Not only does he want to take it, he doesn't care what they're going to do on the defensive side of the ball. You can be prepared for him. He's coming at you anyway.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Yeah.
Back to throw. Hartman firing quickly here, and that's complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go. Set. 90 Wolf. Recon. 132 fighter. Here we go again. Now.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's pin the mirrors back and go.
Throwing again. Arnold. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
That's good for the Vikings. First down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, Arnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Arnold taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Joejuan Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hartman, screen play, Johnson. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Hartman. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Fielded just inside the 30.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At the 48-yard line.
Break.
Go 58 to the right.
And watch that. And watch the ball.
Let's go.
On 1st down, Lunsford. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Looking to throw. Arnold. Dancing to his left.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And Diggs has it. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point right down the middle. And that will tie us at 24. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
198. Watch 98. 98's the mic.
Watch the slants. Watch the slant.
Out, 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 out.
They go to Johnson again. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey. Let's make these baby alpha.
Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing deep for Galladay. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys have now moved out in front. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown.
Got it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll keep it on the ground. Lunsford. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Arnold. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Operating from the gun, Arnold. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. This one completes to Nicole Hardman. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Back to throw. Arnold. It's caught. Smith. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Arnold. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Another costly turnover, their 2nd of this second half. And earlier when I asked you your keys to the second half, you said, hey, it may be trite, but I think it's turnovers. That's coming to fruition.
It certainly is, and let's face it, they named the game after it, right? So isn't it the most important thing?
What,
it's football. Exactly. They named the game for it. Take care of it.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, There goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
Set, ready? 18 Gator.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Shoot, shoot.
Johnson. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now. Ready?
On second down, it's Johnson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Down. 30 base.
On first down, Hartman. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down.
Switch gears. Check, check. Rocky.
Go. Five.
Here's Johnson. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Throwing on third and long. Hartman. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. Touchdown, Detroit. Kendrick Bourne, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a first down following a gain of 3. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. That's now 3 turnovers in this second half. Very costly. And earlier in the half, Charles, when I asked you for your keys to the second half, you said, hey, maybe trite, but it's going to be turnovers. That's been the story.
It certainly has, but I didn't expect it to be this much of the story. I mean, when you're getting up to 3, you're really putting your team in jeopardy.
And they'll indeed take a knee. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Ready. 70, Indy.
Squeeze, double.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Set, 90, Wolf. Check, Matt 42. Look at me, zipper. Ready.
There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Here we go. 15, Ronnie. 15 line.
3 bucks.
5.
On 1st and 10, Arnold. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Off play action. Arnold. He's going to let it fly. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Arnold. The open man is Smith. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Arnold. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Troy Apke. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are looking at 2-0 right now.
Break.
42, Mike 42. Let's go, T. Let's go.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big